Ready? So
I'm ready.
we're going to do the opening prayer first. Opening prayer. Oh, Mother Sentient Beings, especially those enemies who hit me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and safely away establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Oh, Mother Sentient Beings, especially those enemies who hit me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and damnation. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and safely away establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dalai don't worry, see better. No para si bege. Tarpa dam dam jen jen be para de ju para se pa dam je je so se be. Manam ga dan nyam be zen jen dan je de wa dan de. Dong hara dan dara nyor de lana me pa yang da para do be san ju. Rumbo je do bar za. Thus unto I, achieving enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. Unto death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Kandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of the Yadams. We take refuge in all the perfect refuge in the exact Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dhakas, darkness, and the Dhamma gardens, possessors of eye of the wisdom. Under I in the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas invested in enlightened mind and the progress on the Bodhisattva path, to for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta, and apply myself to complete this stage of the path. In the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge under enlightenment's reach. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all Mother Sentient Beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in calamity, free from attachment and aversion. Short mandala offering, page 10a. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water and stirred with the flowers. It is adorned with the meadow, the supreme mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As Buddha fear for it, may all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fears. To the Lama who possesses the Tirikayas, I offer the altar in the sacred offerings. With my body, word, and all that is visible, please grant me the supreme realization enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Om Guru Renamendra Lapenzaming Samandra Savarana Samaya Om. Unequal refuge, ornament of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor, Vajradhara. Widow adored, I bow at the feet of Father Jigten Songgong. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unliberated nature of mind. Please turn the way of Dharma of the two words and the combination according to disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. So now we're going to chant the Manjushri 32. Press to Manjushri. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of two words, and precious the virtuous steps of knowledge in the true nature. Whereas steps of the knowledge in the true nature, for this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has compassion for all beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance in the presence of samsara as a father for only son. Like a thunderclap, he wakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma. Through the 60 branch of Haramane speech, he wears the wisdom sword to cut the settling of suffering and to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels, and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Manjushri, adorned by the 112 sons of Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance. Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Wanga Shoramo, Om Arapatanade, Om Arapatanade. Om Arabazanade, 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 Om Arabazanade. Om Arabazanade, 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 Om Arabazanade. Om Arabazanade, you who are the perfect, youthful body, those flame of wisdom blesses, and dispel the darkness of worldly ignorance, are posted before you and praise you. Manjushri at the heart of Chara is a sun disk on which stands the moon syllable, surrounded by the mantra circling clockwise in golden light, like radiates from the mantra invoking all the blessings and image of all the Buddhas, which dissolve into moon syllable. Again, like radiate and transform the outer universe into the sphere, puring and purify all the obscuration of sentient beings who are then transformed into Manjushri or are reciting mantra together with the light, then return to dissolve into syllable. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So, are you ready to receive the way of Bodhisattva? This is the very long teaching, way of Bodhisattva. So, I'm going to share with you the root text, way of Bodhisattva. You can get many different kind of commentaries. There's a 100 commentaries has way of Bodhisattva. So I think more than 100 commentaries. In India, during that time, Shantideva's time, they have lots of commentaries, and also in Tibet. Mostly, these philosophers have commentaries for way of Bodhisattva. Just everyone who read way of Bodhisattva, they just want to naturally write down something for commentary, because it's very beautiful and not that hard to understand. Also, easy understand and performed, very important. So many reasons they like to write commentary. I think that's why we have so many commentaries. So we don't have time to go to all the commentaries. That's the reason I'm going to share with you directly through the root text. So root text, first I have a translation from Kempo Tenzin Zambo something. I think Tenzin. So he's a very old Kempo. His Kempo means search disciple. So he did a transformation. He has whole this memorize whole thing, this way of Bodhisattva. No need to load any pages. Just whole thing is memorized. So like that, many the teachers have memorized this way of Bodhisattva. Also, when they share the Buddha's teaching, other teachings, they always use the quotes from the way of Bodhisattva. So that's the reason this is very useful who going to share the teaching for others if they have memorized. So then second time I receive teaching from the Khenpo Jimmy Pinso is like directly just word by word he explained. It takes I think 2 or 3 months. Usually Khenpo Jimmy Pinso he teaches some the Mahamudra and Dzogchen, some Vajrayana sections in the every winter, like 3 months, make one program. So other Sutra, Mayaminka, Vinayana, Abhidhamma, logic book, that's teachings usually or other temples teach. So then one in the winter time, 3 months, like he taught that, but I think takes 2 months, something like that. So it's I receive a whole thing, the teaching from Khenpo Jimmy Pinso. And then also they have one chapter is wisdom chapter 9. So that part is the hardest one. And so that chapter is often shared in the Sheda. The reason is a very important section for the who going to study philosophy Buddhist and who wanted to know the emptiness. So who wanted to know the different religions. And that's the reason the chapter 9 is shared often and often. I receive many times chapter 9. So also I taught this whole thing 1 year in Kaju College. I don't remember which year, maybe 2006 or 5, something like that. I taught this way of Bodhisattva whole thing. So we followed that time is like commentary is like shortest commentary. Only words is root text is explained. So the Tibetan Chender means like only some footnotes, and commentary means no elaborated commentary, short. So use that, and I one time share this whole teaching. Then chapter 9, I also share many times. I receive many times that one, but still I don't really understand the meaning. So it's hard until you don't get realize. So that part is still hardest. So when you have realized emptiness, then that part is easy. So then you have realization. So that means like you understanding whole thing clearly understand. So wisdom chapter is everyone share the teaching, but everyone means many the temples share the teaching, but everyone has adopted. Still, no one has like perfectly understand because no one has Buddha's wisdom. So until Buddhahood, that means like just Dharma is like you never finish study until when you enlightenment. So you learn more, you more understand, more deeper. You practice more, you understand more and more. So that's the reason the follow the intellectual and the practicing both way you have to learn. So then really clearly understand is when you have realization. Then of course you have to study first, then you get realized, then you know whole meaning. So way of Bodhisattva is a very popular teaching, very popular. In the Sheda, the first require have to study this way of Bodhisattva. So then all these monks, nuns going to receive the many times, not only just one time receive way of Bodhisattva. Some people like maybe receive like 100 times way of Bodhisattva. Some temple's name is also temple for way of Bodhisattva. They only share way of Bodhisattva, no any other teachings. They always just talk that teaching and they share that. So some is very good for this way of Bodhisattva meanings because they has memorized. They all the time use this practice and share teaching. So I received a couple of times, but I forget. Still, I'm very new beginner. I'm going to make many mistakes. So that's okay. You also have to understand when I make mistake. Then you know this teaching. So also Holiness Dalai Lama, he said, he practiced this way of Bodhisattva, mean practice. So use that teaching. Then he has transformed. He has transformed. So use this practice teaching. That's he always talk lots, many times, not only just one time. He said, like when he was 20 years old, something like that, until 30s, it's just same as regular people. But then 30s, he really put effort, practice way of a Bodhisattva. Then he really transformed it. So he feels, then become realized. Like realized means he has bodhicitta, you know. So it's become transform ordinary person. It's become Bodhisattva. So use this way of Bodhisattva. The way of Bodhisattva is long, but it's shorter. Is more kind of is a 37 practice. 37 practice is more also part of the Bodhisattva's practice, but it's short, very short section for pick up from mostly is way of Bodhisattva. So now I'm going to share this teaching. So when I share this teaching, have a first follow the before the teaching. So you have to some part of branches you have to understand. So what means branch? You know, before the teaching, they talk about many kind of beginning sections before the teaching. Mean teaching before they talk about a lot. So some they follow by the history, and then also followed by the Buddha's how to talk, Arhats how to talk, teaching for share for students, and then regular scholars how to share the teachings. So that's 3 different levels usually we have to share. So when Buddha taught the teaching, so he used the miraculously. So his forehead here and third eye level, leg radiates. The very powerful leg radiates come from his forehead. So then his, you know, the disciple who is not just ready to listening or something, have a kind of like no rapid mind, body, speech, mind, not ready to listening teachings. So he bring them into the listening and kind of like we say subduing everyone. So the subduing words is a little bit too strong, but it's kind of he bring into everyone in the mandala in the teaching. So that means like right now, I share the teaching for you. Your mind can go all over the place. You know, you have a lot of thoughts going on. So that means like I don't have same as Buddha's power. So Buddha power keeps everyone intention in the Dharma, release all these thoughts. So that's the first when he shared the teaching, he does the body, the power. Then also Buddha's tongue is really long. So he can come out. It's like whole world is under his tongue. So that means like everyone is have to believed, no choice. So tongue is representative truth. So Buddha tongue out, his whole world is like under his tongue, and everyone trust and believe that the who listening teaching they fear. Then also the power of mind. So he knows all these people, everyone who going to listening teaching, this every being's capacity levels, individual levels capacity understanding. So all the subtlest level capacity, you know, karmic imprints or understanding clearly, then he shared the teaching. When he shared the teaching, so his words is like, you know, use the power of the speech. So power of speech is all the beings language come from his one words. No need any translators. No, everyone understand. So everyone understand. Same time, they're hearing the teaching what they need, suit for them. So when we, like example, I share teaching, sometimes like too high, sometimes too low, means like people sometimes, oh, I want something different, or I don't need that kind of, so that kind of people fear thoughts. So when Buddha share teaching, not like that. Everyone, what they need, beings, they hear exactly what they need, means suit for them. So if the disciple is a Hinayana followers, Buddha's teaching is a Hinayana. Disciples follower is Mahayana capacity, teaching is Mahayana. Disciple is like Vajrayana, so teaching is Vajrayana level. So that's here that, you know, that's the power of Buddha's speech. Then second is like, you know, was Arhats talk when they share the teaching. So when Arhats share the teaching, Arhats has clairvoyance. They're understanding other people's mind. So then they check the other mind and they check and they reckon they need to teaching or not. You know, they look first that. So if the person ready to listening, they are wrapping in mind, speech, body. So then the Arhats share the teaching. If they are not wrapping, they don't share the teaching. So then also Arhats purify their already speech obscurations. That's the reason when they share the teaching, is words is very beautiful and no any, you know, obscuration the words when they share the teaching, and clear, also unstained. when they share the teaching. Then also when they share the teaching is what they hear from the Buddha. So Arhats has or is memorized. The Tibetan called Mijib, the understanding everything. What Buddha talks, or the memorize. Is never forget, because there has that capacity. Never forget what Buddha says, teaching, talks, teaching for them. Everything is memorized. Not forget any word. Then when they share the teaching, no mistakes. So no more than Buddha talked, no less than Buddha shared. It's just perfectly they shared what Buddha shared for them. They can explain for others exactly same thing. So that's the ahats when they share the teaching for others. So ahats, they don't have like same as Buddhas, because still they have some subtle obscurations. They have many his stories for that. The reason is they have the subtle obscurations. They don't have the same as omniscient wisdom is Buddha. So then third one is in India. So the Nalanda University philosophers, when they share the teaching, so they're followed by 5 main points. And 5 main points, or we can say like, 5 branches, like 5 kind of branches, like the sharing, when they share the teaching, use that, bring whole teaching into the subsumed into this 5 points, or maybe we can say 5 branches. So I don't know exactly how to use the words, but kind of 5 branches or 5 essence, something like that, So then that's Bodhisattvas when they share the teaching. So there's these scholars from the Nalanda University. So that's all followed by Nagarjuna, and then all the masters. So they share the 5 points or 5 branches where to share the teaching. Then that's same thing in Tibet. All these lineages, when they share Dharma teaching, followed by 5 branches, 5 points. So that is followed by Pema Sambhava. When he share teaching, also use that. Nagarjuna, or starting from or Nalanda University, all the time share that way. So we follow that way, going to share this one. So then how to talk about this 5 points. So then who is the author? Who's the author first? Have to share the author's biography. Then where is it come from? Which basket? Follow. The Buddha shared the teaching is subsumed into 3 baskets: Vinayana, Abhidhamma, and Sutra. So then that also has like Hinayana and Mahayana both. 3 baskets has like both. So where does this come from? This text is where is the collection? Like from the Buddha's teaching. So specifically follow where. Then also the part of which one. Which one means like this is a Hinayana or Mahayana. Which category? Then whole point is what is that? You know, all the way like beginning to end. What are you talking about in the book, author, in the teaching? So that is called 5 branch or 5 main point using. So that's I'm going to share a little bit longer for this author. So that is required to share who created this way of Bodhisattva. So the way of Bodhisattva author is Shantideva. Shantideva has completely realized or completion practice Manjushri. So he was born king's prince. During that time, and one teacher share him is Manjushri's teaching and give some instructions. So he practiced Manjushri. He has completed Manjushri during that time. Then his father is passed away. So that time that he going to get father's footstep or follow the kingdom. He's become going to king. So he going to the king and the Tara blessing for him, Tara. Actually, Shantideva has very close to Tara and Manjushri. So what happened is Tara is appeared to his mother and give him very hot shower. So then he said, it's too hot. Then this mother told him, if you are follow the kingdom, you know, the samsara is more hotter than this. She told him, this is nothing compared to your job. What are you going to do? Then that night, he went to sleep that night. In the nighttime, so Manjushri is appeared to him. Manjushri told him, the throne is my throne. So you cannot sit in this throne. I am your teacher. You are student. So you cannot sit my throne. So that means like king's throne, where he going to sit the king throne. So Manjushri is sit there. Manjushri told him, that is my throne, not yours. So you cannot sit this throne. He asked that dream. The next day, he thought he have to run. So he gave up his kingdom and he ran away. And then on the forest, he's really thirsty, suffering. And then one woman carried the water in the west. So he going to drink water from the, water stream. So the woman told him, don't drink that water. I give you this water. Drink this water and go more in the value more inside there. Have a teacher, receive teaching from him. So then he drank the water and he went in the value. There has emanation of Manjushri. So he received teaching from him, and he realized Manjushri. Also, actually, he also has good already practice before he was in the kingdom. So he has realized Manjushri, and then he come to Nalanda University. So he wanted to, share teaching there in the Nalanda University, become his monk in the Nalanda University. So that woman who give water is Tara, and then who give teaching is Manjushri's emanation. So he can talk with Manjushri face to face. Also, he can receive teaching from Manjushri face to face. So that's the reason he has ability to share this kind of way of Bodhisattva, like this teaching. I don't think so. He write down, like you know, someone we authors write down words by words, but I don't think so. Shantideva did it like that way. So when he ready to share, so Manjushri also blessing him, and he have all these teachings come out. And anyway, when he went to Nalanda University, he get you know, the monks vow from the Nalanda University, Cambridge, and from them, and he stayed there. So the slowly, you know, slowly means like when he was there, then his behavior, I think it's correct. His behavior is unusual. So no same as other monks. Other monks all follow the rules, and they just meditate, practice. So they go to listening, teaching, and study very hard. That does all the, you know, whatever the Nalanda University has rules, they follow exactly other monks does. But Shantideva didn't do that. He just does three things, means like eating, sleeping, go to restaurant. So even he don't go to teaching, he don't join the puja, and he don't meditate. So that's the reason the Nalanda University, this board member or that time, you know, who's taking care, they're upset with him. They wanted to fire him. But some reasons they are a little bit scared because he is the prince like king's son. And if you just no reasons fire, maybe king is upset, you know, someone, they're going to bring the army maybe, right? So that's the reason they wanted to make him scared. They want to make him scared to run away, not just fire, you know, say use go. He just want to go himself, let go himself. So then that's the reason they talked, everyone talked together, and the idea is everyone have to share teaching. So one by one. Then they told the Kempo, please push him to Shantideva to teach the Dharma. So you have to push him. Then the Shantideva's Kempo means like who give vows for him, usually who take care of him. So he say you have to share teaching. Shantideva accepted. Then they wanted to make scared for him is to make very high throne and ask public come together, public, you know, big gathering. So they create a beautiful, elaborated everything, you know, flowers, everything. So Shantideva, then he ready to share the teaching, he come, but actually who was there, they didn't recognize him, how to get in the throne, he already in the throne. Then what he says, you want to hear something from Buddha taught or something he not yet taught, didn't taught. So who Buddha already taught something means he's going to use the something, you know, Buddha's teaching, like explain. But who didn't talk something means like he's going to share, you know, like it's this way of Bodhisattva is commentary Buddha's teaching, actually follow the Buddha's teaching, but it's not the, you know, sharing, like explain word by word Buddha's teaching. So they say we wanted to hear something different. Buddha didn't talk something before. So then he shared this teaching, way of Bodhisattva. So all come from Shantideva's clairvoyant memory, you know, the realization come out or this teaching. So some who has good high level students who less obstacles, they also see the magician in the sky, you know. So then when he shared these teachings, enter up to in the wisdom chapter 9 is talk about emptiness. So then he get up more higher the throne, you know, and go up, and in the display in the sky. So he's gone. So that time, and then Nalanda University, the many people has memorized this what Shantideva shared the teaching. So when they has memorized, and the memorize means like they don't forget when they hear. Have many scholars like that there. So the one group from I think it's Kashmir area in India. They say you know the name is like kind of like that, but maybe I think the group is come from there. So they're collected is 700 verses come out. Then in the central India, the area group who has memorized, there has 1,000 verses. Then they don't know which one is correct. So they say we have to find him, Shantideva again. Then they look to India everywhere. Finally, some group who has you know this memorize means like no forgetting what the teacher says. Who has that kind of ability. So that group went to search him. So they found. So then Shantideva give this teaching, and he told the 1,000 verses is correct. He told them have 1,000 verses. And then also in here, this way of Bodhisattva, he mentioned about the two teachings. If you don't want to know something more, so you look that book or teaching. So he mentioned about another two books. So then he told them that that's what he wrote. He lived in his home, where he lived in the Nalanda University, his home. So he gave them, he told them, so they found the book, and Slapti and Doti means they have two another collections book.
Okay.
So that's he has actually three different teachings, like you know books, and when he going to share the teaching, in the Nalanda University, like when he told this one, he said other two, one is too long, one is a little bit too short. So he's going to share right among is this way of Bodhisattva. He shared that this one. So he mentioned about this two also is his room. They found there. So anyway, he didn't want to go back to university, Nalanda University. I think only he shared this teaching in there, no any other thing, other teachings. So anyway, this Shantideva, he is not just an ordinary person. He is a realizer. So he has realized absolute truth, emptiness. That's the reason he can share this, or especially this chapter 9. So who don't have ability, you know, like realization, they cannot share like same is like chapter 9 like this. And then who don't have Bodhisattva practice, then not possible to share this all the chapters. So that's the author of these teachings, Shantideva. But then he has a lot of stories. So other stories we don't have to talk. It's too very long. What he did in his whole life. So most important is like just that story is directly related to in this way of Bodhisattva, where it's come from. So that's I want to share with you. And who is author is Shantideva. So then no is where is this teaching is come from? So it's all the three baskets, Buddha's teaching, three baskets, he collect from three baskets. Specifically is sutra. Then which categories belong to which yana? It's belong to Mahayana. So Mahayana has Sutra tradition and Vajrayana tradition. This is belong to Sutra tradition. Then what is it? Its main topic in this book is or it's bodhicitta section, like become, you know, how you create your bodhicitta. Receive the bodhicitta vow and like how to maintain in bodhicitta, increasing bodhicitta, the engaging 6 parameters. So then this book is why is author is Shantideva, he created for who? You know, he created for who? Which kind of people he focus? He focused all the sentient beings. All the sentient beings. And also specifically for Nalanda University, there, you know, the groups, or we can say like all these university teachers and students. The reason is they follow the well practice bodhicitta is beginning to end, like right path, no mistake. So that is the 5 branch way to share the teaching. So I told like 5 branch. Who is the author? Where is this book is come from? Categories belong to where? And then beginning to end, what is the subject? You know, then this book is for, he created like for who? What he focused for which kind of person, like his disciple, you know, people who going to look for this, you know, benefit who. So that follow the main point, like 5 just branch way to share the teaching. So now we're going into mean the, you know, important part also. That is the teachers how to share the teaching, and also how to listening, the, you know, student how to listening teaching too. So then they have to change the you know, mind kind of a the bodhicitta, you know, intention, change the intention, and follow the intention, like I'm going to receive this teaching, so wanted to benefit all mother sentient beings. So that's the reason I'm going to engage in listening, practice this teaching. So have to that kind of intention first. Very important intention is. So then also, when you listening teaching, this one has like follow the, you know, we already talked in the when I shared the essence of Mahayana. So have to listen carefully the teaching. Otherwise, if you don't listening your teaching, and the same is like your the what is it the core overturn the gear, right? Overturn the gear. Gear is like this. So if you don't pay attention, it's like this. If you are pouring the water here, it's not going into the cup. So if you listening teaching, if you don't pay attention, that is the big problem. Not going to receive, not going to benefit. Then second is like, if you, when you're listening teaching, you cannot go like right ear listening, go through the left ear. If you're happening like that, if you have that problem, so then it's pouring water in here, and the cup has hole in the bottom, so not going to stay in there. So you're not going to remember anything after finish the teaching, it's all gone. So third is, when you listen and teaching, your mind must be joy and happy. Must have to have enthusiasm. You have to engage your body, speech, mind. So example here, if you're not going on something, other things, like good ways, like you showed, like, your video is on and you're engaging your body, that helps you, also mindful. Long as you have a videos on so everyone can see, that give you the mindfulness, mindful awareness. And then also you stay correctly, sit down, better way, listening. So then mind also release all the thoughts, emotions go away. So usually you just lost these worldly activities have to go away. Otherwise, you thinking about worldly activities and thinking about my own benefit, something, something going on mentally, emotions. So if the cup has poison in the cup, maybe water is something. So you put a very special food in the cup, then your food is just, how to say, the contaminate, right? Contaminate or contaminate. This the
Contaminated.
contaminate this poison. So like that, when you listening teaching, same time you have emotions. That is the problem. So have to you release your emotion, carefully listening. So that is the who listening teachings, have to follow. And then of course, like when you listening teaching lots informations, the how to respect to listening teaching. So that's also very important. The follow the tradition way. We have to follow the culture way. How to respect your culturally. So some is like this follow the culture way. It's some cultures not suitable. So doesn't matter where you are just live, you are which culture you follow, you just culturally like big respect for Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So that's most important. So when you go into listening, teaching, like teachers sit down, students get up, standing, then actually not ready to share the teaching. Teaching is no benefit because no respect for teaching. And they say like when you are in the teaching, you put heads in your heads. Then listening, teaching also no correct, incorrect. And when you are in the teaching, you use the umbrella yourself. So umbrella is, I think that time India, like kind of like they're showing I'm special something. So if you use the umbrella, then they say don't share the teaching. It's that kind of many informations. They're always followed by culturally, if someone no respect for Dharma. If no respect for Dharma, then the teaching not going to benefit. So that's the information, very important part. Okay, so then now going to share into the mean teaching. Mean teaching. So you have the English one, right? English version, everyone. So mean teaching is this book name is the title is like the Sancho Simba Juba and Juba means like way of Bodhisattva. So the Sanskrit is first is we always read the Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is Bodhisattva Arya Avatara. So that's the Sanskrit. What means Bodhi? Sato Arya Avatara means. So Bodhi means Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is actually Bodhisattva. Courage is Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva. Arya is conduct. Avatara is into the conduct, engaging, like follow the 6 paramita. So that is the these teachings, the Sanskrit name is translation to the English like that, Tibetan. So this book is come from India. So that's the reason when translation to Tibetan language, so we leave this Sanskrit at the beginning. The many reasons leave this first when we chant the prayers, always have Sanskrit. If both which come from teachings come from India, something like Buddha or Nalanda University. So the Sanskrit is like we first, and one another important is we create our karmic imprint. The reason is when we have become one time Buddha, one day Buddha, so when we share the teaching is using language is a Sanskrit. So all these 1,000 Buddhas share Dharma teaching is use language is Sanskrit. So that's the reason we also create karmic imprint, use habituate, and use chant that words also get blessing too. And then also when the Tibetan king Tuzon, he make the law also. So the homage and this, one is homage to the Manjushri or something, homage Buddha, and this book's name have to live like that. The reason is like something from that time is like teaching is come from Nalanda University. The book Dharma is pure, no any mistakes there. It's kind of very like clear, or it's good, good quality actually. So we think about in this world has many different universities. Which one is the most highest level? Everyone think about, something graduate that university. They think they has education, right? So like that, and Nalanda University, when they create the commentary, have to approve by 100 scholars. So that's the reason it's pure. And then just that's the reason like this book is come from Nalanda University and India. It's unmistaken, it's pure. You trust, kind of trust, believe. One reason, that's the reason that leave this, Sanskrit words. Also, you appreciate two translators. If Dharma is a Sanskrit, we don't understand the meaning. So the translators, translation to own language. So then we have to appreciate the translators. We understanding the meaning. So that kind of reason, they leave the name first, title is Sanskrit. Then after your own language. So this one is follow the Tibetan language, Sancho Simpa Jobal and Jokpa. It's a translation to the Tibetan language. Okay, then the Tibetan, these translators are different than right now our translators. I'm not just pushing down our translators. They all have a good intention and, have a good way intention, and they do put a lot of effort. But when the Tibetan that time translators has a realization, mostly realize, and they're understanding Dharma very clearly, study, they are high level. At the same time, they use together scholar. Pentata means one Khenpo is always be with them to translators, make sure its meaning is there. So then they don't translate also words, they translate meaning, mean point, essence in bring into the words. So when you read the hold all the main point essence. So that's I see some like translation to Tibetan language in English, but they didn't stay like exactly like that. Some is good, you know. Some English part is like you can understand more better the Tibetan, because Tibetan words is also kind of very high level where they put. These all authorities, the scholars, the who know the Dharma, and they use words everything high, very high level, and performed. Regular people not easy to understand anyway. So translation to English, like even just who don't have a really education Dharma, but they also understand. So that is one benefit of English, you know. So in Tibet, we don't explain for this root text for other people, students. They don't understand root text. The so profound, the you know, so much meaning in each word. Then usually Dharma words and regular ordinary words, some is the same thing, but meaning is totally different. I saw some sections like in translator here. Also, there's talk about chi. Chi means is, and regular people chi means virtuous deeds, just virtuous deeds. Chi, and the philosophy chi means all the phenomena, everything, object. So all the phenomena, the just regular people don't understand what chi means. Always they think it's dharma. But this translators also same thing. The chi is translation to this mess up, like you know, they don't know which one is correct to put. So sometimes they follow the just usually with chi means dharma, they put the dharma, but it's not dharma. It's all the phenomena. So that's the reason they say dharma is emptiness. But that means actually all phenomena is emptiness. The words is like the, you know, same pronunciation, same thing, words come from, but meaning is different. So that's the reason this English translators lots has a mistake about like that part. So in this Tibetan translator used to their also high level education, and also they use same time painted the Kempo is one Kempo with them, and then they translate. So it's approving many people. So that's why it's really beautiful. They went to translation to Tibetan language. Okay, so that's the most important. Have to you know the what this meaning, the why we leave the Sanskrit. So then now we're going into this teaching. So first we have to, this teaching has main teaching, and before the homage, and also this Shantideva himself, you know, his respect for the other teachers. So that reason, this teaching is followed by the branchy, first branchy kind of like we say it's opening prayer, then into the teaching, and then end of the conclusion or the main everything. So first part is the opening, or you know, the branchy part is like homage to first homage. So homage is so you have right, this is root text. So we have to follow the root text, otherwise not easy to understand. Everyone must have to have a root text, because you have to read. When I'm going into main teaching, so I try to share short information, because this is a lot, so we cannot easily finish. So I try to go to more, you know, when you read English, it's not that hard to understand. So we're going to do like every day, many pages. So I'm going to study English too. My reading skill is going to improving. Respectfully apostolate myself to Sungatas, who are endowed with the Dharmakaya, as well as to their noble sons and to all who are worthy of veneration. So here, the Shanti Deva, he homage to all this Buddha and the Bodhisattvas. So then here I shall explain how to engage in the vows of Buddha's sons. So he said he's going to share this all informations. So explain how to engage the vows of the Buddha's sons. Means Buddha's sons means like Bodhisattvas. So this Shanti Deva, he use word is more is for the me, but also like you have to understand, like, you know, according this kind of words is Buddha's doctors, you know, doctors, right? Doctors. So why is it become mostly men is when he shared this teaching, is or is the scholars are men. It's in monastery. He shared these teachings in monastery. So when he shared the monastery, he used the word focus for the monastery monks how to visualize, how to meditate, you know. So that's the reason these words come from sons. The meaning of which I have condensed in accordance with the scriptures. So Shanti Deva going to share this very condensed. Condensed means like actually comparing, right? This is a comparing to 37 practice Bodhisattva, but this is not condensed. This is elaborated. But it's comparing to all these Buddha's teachings. This is the condensed. Then Bodhisattvas, the conduct, the practice is all vast. So this he all bring into this 1,000 verses. So that means condensed. So this Bodhisattva's conduct is vast. He bring into just 1,000 verses. That's why I have condensed in accordance with the scriptures. Means like followed by the Buddha's scripture. And this all has background, you know. Shanti Deva, whatever he says is like followed by Buddha's teaching, scriptures. So that is the first one is homage. That's called homage. And also he say, I'm going to create this book and promise. I'm going to share this teaching. You know, the two things there. One is homage to Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Second is, he said, I'm going to share this condensed in accordance with the scripture. Follow that way, going to share the teaching. So that is like called the, he said, I'm going to share his promise. You know, he promised, I'm going to share this way of Bodhisattva for you. And the reason is this homage is get blessings. And this promise is you can finish completion. This Bodhisattvas don't promise if they cannot do. Something they promise they're going to do, job done perfectly. They're not just going to, you know, leave, the job is not done. So that's the reason that he promised, I'm going to share this teaching. Okay, so third one is he says, like here is the second, the number 2. So it's called the reduce his ego. Means Kingpa Tibetan means like humble. He created a humble. So this is a little bit different culturally also. And all these teachers, I realize this, that no one say I am realizer, I am the practitioner, I am the scholar. So that everyone has humbles. They say I don't know. So do you know that one teacher is come to in the Western country? When he shared the teaching beginning, he told them is I don't know the teachings like much, so I don't know really this how to talk something. Then one said, if you don't know, then you don't have to talk. One who was in the going to listen and teaching, he told him, if you don't know, then you don't have to talk. So that's the culture, And here, so we think, oh, you don't know, you don't have to share, you don't have to talk. Then we don't trust. But in this level, who said that? But there's no ego. They're showing no ego. So when you listening teaching from Garchen Rinpoche, when he always say, Dhamma brothers, sisters, I don't know, but I'm going to share with you. I don't know these teachings. So he always said that. So like that, all the teachers, no one say, no. That's the reason here Shanti Deva said, there is nothing here that has not been explained before, and I have no skill in the art of rhetoric. So what he says, okay, so I read the whole thing. Therefore, lacking any intention to benefit others, I write this in order to account it to my mind. So also, long as you have ego, then Dharma not going to benefit. So when you're going to listen and teaching, then you think, oh, the teacher, I am better this teacher, or I know more than him. So as long as you have that, don't receive the teaching, because you're not going to get benefits. So ego is obstacle. Ego is a big obstacle. We understanding words, but actually not really also. Intellectually also hard, but then think about really have a practicing and understanding meaning, at the same time you have that kind of, the teachings you use your practice. So we don't have that. We are beginner, we are ordinary. So even Shanti Deva, he can be despair in the sky, but he said, I don't know. Then where we are right now, think about. So there is nothing here that has not been explained before, means he's not going to, he said, I don't have anything special going to share with you. So not being explained before means Buddha already talked, other Bodhisattvas already shared. And I have no skill in the art of reorate or something, anyway. He said, I'm no great teacher. I'm no good writer. I don't know how to create beautiful words and explain. And he said, I'm not poetry. Okay. So actually, Shantideva is poetry. He is a good author. He's a good writer. But he said, I don't know. He said, I don't have any of these qualities. Then, therefore, lacking any intention to benefit others. Then he also said, I'm lacking any benefit for others means like he really think, oh, this is like something special. I'm going to share benefit all these millions beings. He say he don't have that kind. Also, his you know, and courage or saying that. Actually, this benefit millions like endless sentient beings. But he said he just created his humble way. And he said he don't have that kind of intention. I wanted to benefit the whole world. We talk about, oh, we're going to do benefit the whole world. We're going to talk about world peace. Like that's words is bring actually ego there together too. You know, so we have to know the what we're saying actually. Sometimes we say that, but the words is like little bit emotion or ego, like there has something not pure. So that's the reason Sri Shantideva was therefore lacking any intention to benefit others. So then why he did this, he said, I write this in order to account it to my mind. I want to habituate for this way of Bodhisattva. I want to, he said, meditate. I want to use my practice. That's why I'm writing this. So, and also, who same is me, who need meditate. So they also can use this. Who wanted to habituate, you know, Bodhisattva's conduct, they can use that. So he said he's going to just create his own karmic influence way of Bodhisattva. Actually, Shantideva is absolute truth Bodhisattva, not just ordinary Bodhisattva, you know, regular. But he said he's going to habituate Bodhisattva's path. That's the reason he's going to create this teaching. This according to my mind. So that is like he show his humble. And also when you going to listening teaching, so if you have emotions, egos, have to think about these words. Okay, so have to go away ego. Long as we have ego, no possible benefit Dharma. So that is our own obstacle. We have to know that. Own obstacle is ego. So then Dharma not going to into our mind and not going to benefit. So Shantideva actually give us this pit instruction for us, pit instruction. So even if you can read this, you understand little bit words, you don't say, ah, no, okay? It's still we don't know. This is more profound than that, really. That's why you read again and again, you understand it more and more deeper. Sometimes like we don't study much Dharma, then we thought I know. So you go see more deeper than you think I don't know. That kind of always happening. I study English, so when I come to US, I thought I know English. So people say, do you know English? Yes, I know English. So I always say I know thought I know English. Then I went to school and then I thought I don't know English. So then I don't know English because it goes all the way to until no, really I don't know English. Okay. So when you going to learn a little bit, you have ego like very high. So when you really learn and your ego is down and you say you don't know, then you have confident bird again, go up again, confident, understanding. So first everyone has ego, go like this, up, and then go down. All the way down, grow, and then you have like experience, then comes. So then that is no ego, you have experience. So first we have ego. When I study also philosophy, went to Sheda, so first couple of years I thought I know really. So I thought it's a piece of cake, you know. I understand. Then go into 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So then really I thought it's I don't know. So you have to follow the teacher and the understanding, and then really into ground. So that's that time then you're really learning. First, you don't really learn. So when you have ego, so then come down that you learning. So that's why Shantideva also he say he don't know, and we have to understand that word. This is Peter instruction. This way of Bodhisattva is the teacher. I told you some temples only share this teaching whole life. So some has whole memorized this thing. Mostly this in the shade of this campus as like tradition campus means like used to or really in the long time ago this campus everything is memorized. The whole this root text everything they memorize. So then now we are number 3 for due to in contents with what is wholesome, the force of my faith may for a short while increase because of these words, if however these words are seen by others. So this section is also part of the, his reduced ego, like, when we're going to listen to teaching, why we didn't going to, study, we think about ourselves, why we going to study this. The study is like we wanted to use to habituate Bodhisattva's path. And the Shantideva also says, for due to accountings with what is wholesome. So he said, due to he's going to use to habituate for Bodhisattva's path. So that's why he said he's going to practice this, follow this teaching. The force of my faith may for a short while increase because of this word. So if we follow this way of a Bodhisattva, increasing devotion and increasing qualities. So that's the reason I wanted to practice this way of a Bodhisattva. So his main point is, and then also he wish who is the same as me, like who wanted to increasing Bodhisattva and who wanted to increasing devotions, quality. So then they also need this one. So that's the reason this teaching is become not for all the beings, but who wanting to bodhicitta, increasing their benefit for them, they need this. So he said, I need this. I wanted to increasing my bodhicitta. So he said, same as me who wanting, increasing bodhicitta. So they need this. So that's why he's going to share this teaching, he said. However, these words are seen by others, so benefit for them. So now here is really going into the teaching. So now we are really into the main teaching. We're going into the main teaching. So first, which kind of person have to going in to study this teaching? The person is here says, also, so this I didn't finish. Sorry, equal in fortune to myself. It may meaningful for them. See the meaningful for them. So I already actually talked the main point teaching. So now is the next one is, we're really going into the main teaching. So which kind of person can practice this teaching? Leisures and adornments are very hard to find. And since they accomplish what is meaningful for me, if I do not take advantage of them now, who will such a perfect opportunity come about again? So leisure and the domains are very hard to find. We already told that it's precious human body. This is talking about precious human body. Very hard to get precious human body's form body, because think about this: 8 leisures and 10 domains. 8 leisures is very hard. So many beings in the lower ranks. So that is hard to get human beings body 8 leisures. And 10 domains, even you get the human being's body, is we 10 domain, we need like, conditions. 5 conditions come from our own. 5 conditions come from, other outer circumstances. And 5 conditions come from inner circumstances. See, so many human beings, how many people has connect with the Dharma? So how many people has time to listening teaching, way of a Bodhisattva, like this kind of teaching? So every sentient beings really need, but how many really into have opportunity, study, practice the way of a Bodhisattva? Not many. So that's why we have to recognize our opportunity, and we have this, opportunity. We have precious human body. It's not easy to find. We are reborn in so many lifetimes in samsara. We never get opportunity until this life. So this life is most precious life, millions life previous ones. So we have to rejoice ourselves, and you have recognized we have this precious human body. And since they accomplish what is meaningful for me, it's very difficult to get. That is hard to get this precious human body. And then we get this, we have to use for meaningful this life. If you don't use for meaningfully life, hard to get future life again like this. So previous we didn't get, but now we have. If we don't take care of this one, future not possible. So that's the reason. Think about the past, think about the future. Then right now we have this precious human body. We have to use for meaningful and put and effort practice Dharma. So that's the most important. If I do not take advantage of them now, if we don't put effort in this life, then how will such a perfect opportunity come about again? Not possible you get again future life. If you don't use this life, it's for meaningfully for Dharma. Future life, not easy. So that's why we have to cultivate precious human body every morning. So you meditate, cultivate precious every morning. You want to practice Dharma, and also and happily, joyfully, not just kind of sad, not just like lazy and sleeping together. Yeah, maybe I'm going to do or not. So not like that. You really have joy and effort anyway. Main point. Then just as a flash of lightning on dark cloud night, for an instant brightly illuminated, or likewise in this world, through the mat of Buddha, a wholesome thought rarely and beautifully appears. So think about this example. It really makes sense. So in this world is dark. Not only this world, like so many other universes. It's all dark. Especially think about the hungry ghosts, animal realms, higher realms. Really dark. No any wisdom, dharma there. So then we are fortunately in this eon, Buddha Shakyamuni appeared in the world. He shared the Dharma teaching. Dharma is exist. So we have opportunity to receive this teaching. But some eons, no Buddha is able to share Dharma. So that's why this is just as the flash of lightning on dark, cloudy night. So sometimes like thunderstorm, very dark, you don't see anything. So like that, actually, some eons like no any Dharma, no Buddha. So they also go to think about in this time, Buddha Shakyamuni appeared in the world, he shared the Dharma teachings. Dharma is exists in the world, but some many beings, mind is dark. No any Dharma. So then see lightning comes, you can see whole thing again right away there. But that is a very short time. You know, sometimes like Buddha, Dharma is exist in the world like that, short terms. So for instance, breakthrough eliminated all. Likewise, in this world, through the merit of Buddha, wholesome, wrought rarely and beautifully appear. So then all these beings were accumulation merit and Buddha's aspirations. Sometimes Buddha's effort in the world. The lightning is because many condition comes, light, you know, comes and the light show all the clear up again. So the light comes also have so many causes of condition have come together. Same thing like that. Our accumulation or beings accumulation merit, Buddha's aspirations, and sometimes Buddha's effort in the world. So that time sometimes we have bright light. So some Dharma. So that kind, you know, not easy to connect with the Dharma. Very hard to connect with the Dharma. So we have to know that. Hence, virtue. So that is the we our individually have think that way. You know, individually. So our mind, you know, think, oh, we, you know, have some good connections, Dharma and Buddha. So now we're going into the Bodhisattva, mean important. So main important is the Bodhisattva. First is going to talk about Bodhisattva's qualities. Then so the main point also first, like how important this Bodhisattva is. So, you know, not easy to get, but it's to share a little bit quality. Hence, virtue is perpetually feeble. The great strength of evil being extremely intense. And except for a fully awakening mind, by what others' virtue will it be overcome? So our usually, you know, we practice Dharma without Bodhisattva. It's not much powerful. So that's why hence virtue is perpetually feeble, means not really going to destroy our negativity deeds. Sometimes like you have just good, you know, practice Dharma without Bodhisattva, not going to destroy our non-virtuous deeds. virtue is perpetually fear, but it's not strong enough. So the great strength of evil being extremely intense, like no virtue is so strong. And except for a fully awakened mind, only this bodhicitta can, by what other virtue will it be overcome, means like overcome to the non-virtuous deeds. It's bodhicitta. Bodhicitta only can purify negativity deeds. So think about ourselves, like when we wake up morning until go sleep, our virtues is very weak. Our emotion negative is very strong. So then negative is so strong, which practice can subdue or purify that negativity deeds? This bodhicitta practice can subdue, purify negativity deeds. So long as you arise bodhicitta your mind, and you have a strong non-virtuous deeds, strong negativity deeds also can purify it. So this we have to think about other virtues without bodhicitta is not strong, and especially individually, our think about our own individual, our own situation. So every day, every month, every year, whole life, we have created non-virtuous deeds is more than virtuous deeds. So virtuous deeds is perpetually fear. So then non-virtuous is so strong. So then who can destroy this non-virtuous deeds? Only bodhicitta can overcome to the non-virtuous. So bodhicitta is more powerful than non-virtuous deeds. So that's you have to know. So that is the bodhicitta's power. Also, this bodhicitta is most benefit. The reason is here say all the Buddhas who have contemplated for many eons have seen it to be beneficial. So this Buddhas, many eons, think about which practice is most powerful, which practice really benefit for other beings, which practice purify negativity deeds. So they found this Bodhisattva. It's the benefit. So that's why it's for by it the limitless masses of beings very quickly attain the supreme state of bliss. All these sentient beings so quickly attain the supreme state of bliss, Buddhahood. Who can take that bodhicitta can take all these limitless sentient beings take to the Buddhahood. That is only bodhicitta. So that's Buddhas, eons look for something for benefit other beings. They found this is bodhicitta. They found. So then, that's the reason. So this one is a kind of like suit for us, satisfies for us. Use this practice satisfies or something. You really understand and this benefit us. We need this. So that's the reason this number 8 is. Those who wish to destroy the many sorrows of their condition and existence. Those who wish all beings to experience a multitude of joys And those who wish to experience such happiness should never forsake the awakening mind. So who really want to destroy our negativity deeds and who really want free from samsara suffering? This samsara's condition, suffering conditions, who really wanted to free from that. Also, who really wanted to benefit other beings, millions of beings. Who really want to create joy and happiness, their own experience, who really wanted to bring happiness to other beings, then that person should never forsake the awakening mind, bodhicitta. Only bodhicitta is, destroy our samsara suffering. Bodhicitta destroy all non-virtuous deeds, negative deeds. So bodhicitta bring all joy and happiness us and for other beings. So that's the reason should never forsake the awakening mind. Never give up bodhicitta. So the bodhicitta only fear for our mind, because we want joy, happy. We wanted to free from samsara. We wanted to benefit others. So that's which practice can bring that. Bodhicitta can bring that. So that's why don't give up bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the same is like wish fulfilling giver. So fears our desire. Okay, so then long as when you receive the bodhicitta vow, you are transformed, you are changed. So that's why here it is the moments in awakening mind arise. In those fettered and awake in the jail of cyclic existence, they will be named as son of the Sungatas and will be revered by both me and the gods of the world. So when you have bodhicitta come into your mind, you are become right away there, like kind of the moment in waking mind arise means like moment you arise bodhicitta mind in your mind, arise in your mind. So in those fetter and wake in the jail of cyclic existence, we are stuck in samsara, but we are become Buddha's son and daughters. So that's why they will be named as son of Sungatas, means like Buddha's daughters. Son and daughters means we have become Bodhisattva. And will be revered by both me and the God of the world. So when you talk the Bodhisattva vows, you are right there, change. Your name is become Bodhisattva. And son of the Buddha, the daughter of the Buddha. And also then and will be revered by both me and the gods. All the beings revered, praise to us, God and the world, because we have become Bodhisattva.
Kempo, can I ask a question?
No question right now, please. Okay. So we finish first. Then, like when you receive the Bodhisattva vows, so you are become Buddha's son and Buddha's daughter is already under the Buddha's taking care. So that is the transformed. Even we are stuck in samsara. So this is a relative truth of Bodhisattva, not talking about absolute truth of Bodhisattva. Then when you have a bodhicitta in your mind, so that time this all among actually, obstacles, no one can penetrate to you. Bodhicitta is very powerful when you have a bodhicitta. So bodhicitta when you have a bodhicitta, no selfish there, no selfish. You're only thinking about others. So when you don't have a selfish, no any obstacle come into our, body, speech, mind. So that's the reason, and we are better than gods, and better than all these samsaric beings. So that's why it's and will be revered by both me and the God of the world. So that is the change in the name is becoming a Bodhisattva son and daughters. So now is talking about the benefit, the quality, bodhicitta's quality. The 6 verses talk about the Buddha's quality. This is the first one. It is like the supreme God making elixir. For it transformed unclean body we have taken into the priceless jewel of Buddha form. Therefore, firmly succeed this awakening mind. I hope so I read it correctly. So it's not easy, the words. Anyway, so this is the first one, is talking about the quality. Is benefit. So benefit is, it is like the supreme God making elixir. So you have something big, matter or things, you paint the gold outside, everything clearly. So become you don't see the other is already transformed. Actually, it's matter is transformed to the gold. So gold making elixir. So for it to transform the unclean body we have taken, long as you take the receive bodhisattva vows, your ordinary body is become transformed to the, pure. So means Buddha's son and daughter. So for it transformed unclean body we have taken, it's become causes of Buddha. So this body is actually ordinary body is causes of suffering, causes of samsara. But when you receive the bodhicitta vow, your body is causes of Buddhahood. It's become transformed to the causes of Buddhahood. That's why it's called body we have taken. Transformed unclean body we have taken into the priceless jewel of Buddha's form. Become same is like gold plated something is transformed inside what the head is transformed, gold plated. It's become precious jewel. So like that, it's become we are special person. Ordinary person is transformed to the special person. So if we wanted to become special person, create bodhicitta. Same thing, if you wanted to have something special, ornament, plate gold. So that time is gold is, I think, is the highest level in India. So something plate gold transforms is like highest, lot good object. So that's why the main point is, which kind of object gold can, even smaller gold can transform very big object. So bodhicitta can transform this ordinary, who stuck in samsara, who has all these emotions, that person is transformed to the Buddha's son and daughter, causes of Buddha. Therefore, Fimela says this awakening mind. So that is the first one. So second one is it's hard to get this one. The bodhicitta is hard to get. So since the limitless mind of the soul God of the world has upon through investigation, seeing its preciousness, all beings wishing to be free from worldly advice should firmly take hold of this precious awakening mind. So we have to think about this. Since the limitless mind of soul God of the world, so someone is a guide for us, and kind of like think about shape captain. So shape captain helps us deliver to ocean to other side in the land. So we are stuck in the ocean suffering. Shape captain helps to deliver, who's stuck suffering in the ocean. The delivery help to take to the land. So we think that person is so special for us, like help us not dead in the ocean to deliver, transform, give transportation to take to in the land. So same like that, since the limited mind of the soul God of the world, and so Buddha, so he help us. Buddha is same as a captain for all these sentient beings who stuck in samsara. So his mind is immeasurable love and compassion and bodhicitta. So then he help us, benefiting for us. So that is precious. You think about it, has upping through investigation, seeing its preciousness. So you think about yourself, that's really Buddha is precious us, precious jewel. That's why we call three jewels. This Buddha Dharma Sangha is three jewels, right? So precious, preciousness. That's the reason all beings wishing to be free from worldly advice, who have good intentions, who wanted to benefit others, should firmly take hold of this precious awakening mind, should receive bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is the same, is a captain, guide us through the samsara to nirvana. The bodhicitta is, if you think about, investigate, really look to what bodhicitta's quality, its preciousness. So now we have to create that. We wishing to be free from all these worldly sentient beings, wanting to help them, so should take bodhicitta vows. So that's the bodhicitta is same as precious example. Second example, bodhicitta's quality, benefits. So third is they have the 6 different, the talk about the bodhicitta's benefit qualities. So that is the number 2. Number 3, example is all other virtues are like the plantain tree. For after bring fruit, they simply perish. But this perennial tree of the awakening mind unceasingly bears fruit and thereby flourishes without end. So other virtuous deeds, the benefit rapid in one time and then going to exhaust. Same is the tree. This tree is bring the the tree is bring the fruit, but then after it's exhausted, going to no more, finished. So that is the same is other without bodhicitta virtuous. So then bodhicitta is never virtuous deeds benefits is going to exhaust and exhaust, or is exhaust. I think is correct word, exhaust. Not going to just finish, die there. Its benefit is enter Buddhahood, all the way come to enter Buddhahood. So that is the say, unceasingly bear fruit and thereby flourish without end. Bodhicitta's benefits never end. Other virtuous deeds without bodhicitta can be end. One result arises, then gone, exhaust. Long as you have a bodhicitta mind, you create something virtuous deeds, enter Buddhahood, never exhaust, never end. So that is the third example. Then fourth one, like entrusting myself to a belief me when greatly afraid. By entrusting myself to this waking mind, I should be safely liberated, even if I have committed extremely unbearable evils. Why, when do the consciousness not devoted themselves into this? So the number 13 is if we create so much non-virtuous deeds, then long as we have a bodhicitta, you can go through that, you can become enlightenment, you can be free from samsara. So same is this example. If you're going to journey to somewhere, on the road has very danger. Only you go yourself, you're not going to survive. You're not going to reach where you're going to go. You never get your destination. So you have someone protecting courage person. So that can help you go through the danger path to you get destination. So this bodhicitta is same is the someone protection us, like some courage person protecting us. So like that, okay? The what is the danger one, the danger on the path, very danger. If we go through ourselves, we're not going to survive. That is our non-virtuous deed. And the negative deed is very strong. So who can go through, destroy the non-virtuous deeds? Only the bodhicitta. The bodhicitta is same as someone, our protection, courage as protections. So bodhicitta is actually very high level protections. We always seeking something protection. If you really need, absolute protection, it's bodhicitta. Long as bodhicitta arises in your mind, you have highest level, absolute truth protection. Then no one can harm for us. All these spirits, obstacle beings, no one can harm us. All this obstacle is come from actually selfish self. Bodhicitta is more beyond the selfish, destroy the selfish. It's opposite of the selfish. So that's the reason. So then that is the number fourth example. The fifth example is the fire. Just like the fire at the end of an edge, it instantly consumes all great evil. Its unfathomable advantages were taught to the disciples sadhana by the wise Lord Maitreya, I think. Yeah, Maitreya, Buddha Maitreya. So think about the, no virtuous did the same as this fire. So this end of age fire is, end of this world. This fire is comes and burn the whole world. So right now fire is the not age, end of age fire. So end of the world is fire going to burn whole world. The fire is extremely heat, very strong, powerful. So same like that fire is our no virtuous deeds. Who created no virtuous deeds? So instantly consumes all great evils, like who created no virtuous deeds. It's unfathom. So advantage were talked. So then there's a bodhicitta's quality only can go more over than this, non-virtuous, strongest non-virtuous, same is the end of in age fire. So the bodhicitta has more power quality and can subdue or, purify this non-virtuous deeds. That's the Buddha Maitreya talk to share to the is Sudana by West Lord of Majorshiri. Majorshiri talked to the disciple sadhana. Is the person is Tibetan called Northern. So Buddha Maitreya shared to him the bodhicitta's quality. The main point is bodhicitta is more powerful than end of the world fire. End of the world fire is extremely heat, very powerful. Same is like that is no virtuous deeds who create. So then bodhicitta only can more overcome to destroy that, no any other virtuous deeds. So we already talked. So that information this Buddha Maitreya shared to the Sudana. So then 15 is also the bodhicitta's benefits come from other Buddha's teachings. So that's just we talk about page 4. The number 14 is Maitreya share bodhicitta is powerful than no virtuous deeds to this Sudana. So the number 15 is the bodhicitta qualities come from other Buddha's teachings. In belief, the awakening mind should be understood to be of two types: the mind that aspires to awaken, and the mind that ventures to do so. So the main point is briefly the bodhicitta is subsumed into the two. So if many branches we already talked when I shared the essence of Mahayana. So 21 different levels of bodhicitta. So this all subsumed into these two categories. So the mind that aspiring to awakening bodhicitta and the mind that ventures to do so means is engaging bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is subsumed in these two. That's also the come from Buddha's teachings. Other teaching in the Buddha's teaching, they say, oh, this bodhicitta is subsumed in these two categories. Which kind of these two differences is? So, as it's understood by the distinction, right? Between aspiring to go and actually going. So the wise understand in turn the distinction between these two. So these two differences, one is aspiring is like wanting to go, want to do. And action bodhicitta is engaging, is in the doing action. So doing action. So that's the difference is we have a both. You know, when you listen to teaching, you must have to have a both. So without a both, you cannot listen to teaching. First, like you wanted to go to receive this teaching is aspiring bodhicitta, and then you are come into the Zoom meeting. So now you are in the engaging bodhicitta. So like that, these two is. You know you are in the engaging bodhicitta because you are in the teaching. So now this bodhicitta is the first we talk about this. That is like two different bodhicitta. I mean the two categories. So then also the just share that is like these two categories main point is what the difference is. So now this bodhicitta's quality is going to share the quality again. So benefits, the 17. Although great fruits occur in cyclic existence, from the mind that is aspiring to awaken, in uninterrupted follow of merit does not issue as it does with the venturing mind. So this benefits is different. What I talking about, aspiring bodhicitta benefits is only come to in the samsara. So no same is benefit is engaging bodhicitta. So aspiring bodhicitta's benefits come into the samsara. Then it's exhaust. But engaging bodhicitta is enter Buddhahood, never exhaust. So that's the difference is. So aspiring bodhicitta helps, like in the samsara has all these good qualities awakening, good merit, you know. I try to follow over merit, that's not issue, yeah. So that is the difference. Then 18, and for whom who has perfectly seized this mind with the thought never to turn away from totally liberating infinite forms of life. Oh, time is gone, sorry about. So I'm going to finish this sentence. Very enthusiasm, happy and joy to share. So I didn't recognize time is gone. I thought only just starting teaching is a couple of minutes ago. This time is really gone, right?
Temple, time is
Actually,
infinite.
so 2 hours listening teaching is like you really cannot pay attention. Not easy. That is really hard for you, but you have really good patience.
It went really fast. It's been wonderful, really fast.
You're welcome. So that's good. So 2 hour teaching receive is not easy to stuck in the head without really strong patience. So you have good patience and joyful effort too. And for home who has perfectly, I see I already read this one. So the main point is the 18 is long as when you receive this bodhicitta vow, then that's so with the thought never to turn away means you never lost bodhicitta. From totally liberating in the infinite forms of life means like your whole life is a change. Your all action is a change. So long as you take this bodhisattva, want to benefit others, so then you not turn away from the bodhicitta. Is you are into the bodhicitta. So the what is benefit is the 19 talk about. From that time hence, even while asleep or unconscious, a force of merit equal to the sky will perpetually ensue. As long as you have that number 18, that's the intention. You talk already receive bodhicitta vow. So you not stop that intention. Then you are going into the sleep, or you are unconscious about thinking about virtuous deeds. So whatever you're doing, accept, create no virtuous deeds. So usually we call the virtuous deeds, no virtuous deeds, and that's called the karma has like virtuous deeds karma, no virtuous deeds karma. What is it? Another one, neutral, right? Natural karma, neutral karma. So that's all. It's become virtuous deeds. Who don't have bodhicitta, wow, neutral is part of ignorance. It's neutral karma is part of ignorance, create all the time causes of samsara. But long as you receive bodhicitta vow, you maintain a bodhicitta, and all this neutral also become virtuous deeds. You're increasing your virtuous deeds. So you are good investment. Long as you have bodhicitta vow, you did good investment. Even you don't doing any actions, create virtuous deeds, but virtuous deeds quality is increasing. So that is the best investment. Okay, if you are really intelligent, you are sharp, you really wanted to benefit yourself, you have to invest in bodhicitta. Investment in bodhicitta is then this quality benefits is exhaustively arise, uninterruptedly arise. So no same is the stock market. Stock market is very dangerous, right? Bodhicitta never danger. So always 100% pure qualities. So you invest in the stock market is very dangerous. Not 100% perfect, right? So very dangerous. This bodhicitta is not like that. 100% better, good quality. So then your force of merit equal to the sky will perpetually ensue. So we can leave it there today. So then evening, we can discussion and you can have answer questions. We can go through that. Or you wanted to keep going, continue teaching, I can share with you evening too. How many people wanted to go to evening is answer in the discussion? I want to see the rest of your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. How many people wanted to share the teaching evening? Raise your hand again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, it's more. 9, 10, 11. So we can share some teachings, and then also you can ask, bring the question and answer too. So even we shared evening some teachings, but also tomorrow we have to go to summarize some sections. Otherwise, some people cannot join evening. So they also have to know. So we have to go to summarize a little bit tomorrow. And
What time tonight?
Also not going to missing. Tonight is 7 o'clock in the East Coast time. 7 p.m. So now we're going to do the dedication, and you can question if you have, so you can share that this evening. Okay, thank you everyone. So I'm going to share the prayer. And in the center is marvelous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of power for me. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful fueling of Devaji. When and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsara rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessing of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Tiyata Pinjandaya, our modern aya, Soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where it is unborn as arise, where it is born as no decline, but ever increase higher and higher. So this way of Bodhisattva is actually in this world, Bodhicitta. So this first 3 chapters is Bodhicitta, excellent precious mind, where it is unborn, is made arise, is the first 3 chapters. Then some chapters where it is born may not decline. Some chapters, but it will increase higher and higher. So this whole is subsumed into this way of Bodhisattva in this prayer. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion, may all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, and sickness, death, cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri the Vero realized automatic state, and I did Samantha, but I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teaching of the great Digompa Renashiri, who is omniscient, Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, until the end of the samsara. Thank you all. See you evening.
Thank you, Kempo.
Yes, thank
Bye.
you. Wonderful.
Thank you, Kempo.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Where will the recording be put up?
It'll go up on the Darshan Meditation Center YouTube channel. Yeah, I can send you a link.
Thank you, Kempo. Jai bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you tonight.
Putting you all into emptiness.
See everyone tonight.
Thank you.